Alright, welcome back. Just in time for Christmas. I got the red and green Lucky Tackle boxes for the month of December. So Lucky Tackle Box is a subscription-based company. We send them about $15 a month, depending on, for a 1-month subscription. It gets cheaper as you subscribe for more months at a time. And they send you a box of tackle worth something more than that every month. So here I've got an upgraded version. It's the Lucky Tackle Box XL. This is available through fishhound.com. And Fishhound is closely associated with Lucky Tackle Box. So this is the upgraded version. It's an extra $5 a month. It comes with typically one extra hard bait. If you've watched all my videos, my first Lucky Tackle Box unboxing, I had the XL and then I had the blue regular bass Lucky Tackle Box. And I was discussing at that time, or just trying to decide at that time, whether or not I wanted to change one of my subscriptions over to a different box or cancel it. So I decided to go with the red box, which is their Panfish box. So I'll be unboxing that one second. We'll start off with the green Lucky Tackle Box XL. Alright, so typically, as is Lucky Tackle Box fashion, wrapped in tissue paper. Got a card right on top, telling us what's in the box. Lucky Tackle Box monthly contest on the back of the card. Take a photo of your Lucky Tackle Box, post it on Facebook and Instagram, use the hashtag Lucky Tackle Box, and one winner every month is going to win a $100 dollar rod. So, alright, let's see what we got. First up, looks like we've got a Rick Clune series crankbait from Lucky Strike. And actually for this month, this will be technically a jerkbait. Kind of an interesting color. Purple top, orange on the bottom, and kind of smoke through the middle. Typical rattles, nice sticky sharp hooks. Good size. So this is a spinning jerkbait, 96 size. And yeah, it's a nice sticky sharp hooks. It's the time of year for a jerkbait, so I'm gonna give this thing a workout. I'm planning on going fishing tomorrow, mostly for smallmouth. We'll see if the smallmouth like that one. And that's $6.99. All right, next up from Cabin Creek, we've got the spider parts and spider head. So this is a setup for a spider rig. So it's kind of a pieces parts jig head. Looks like the color I've got here is green pumpkin with blue flake, which is actually a really good color on the lake I'm going to tomorrow, and this would be perfect for smallmouth. So, like I said, if you're not familiar with a spider rig, it's kind of a soft, instead of using a normal skirted jig, it's got a soft plastic collar that slides on the jig head first. So first of all, we've got basically just a little spider jig head. There's the little jig collar. So that goes over the hook, slides all the way up onto the collar keeper. And then what you'll notice is you got all the little extensions with the ball around, and you got the one right in the top that doesn't have a ball. And that one actually can be threaded onto the point of the hook like that to serve as a weed guard once you get the whole thing put together. And the next piece up is just a little two-part, just a little twin tail grub. Just make sure we get that nice and straight. And I didn't. So we get nice and straight, slide it up over the keepers. If that's on there straight. And there's our little spider grub. So probably end up, before I take these out, I'll soak this in warm water and straighten those little pieces out. But yeah, so Cabin Creek, small salty spider parts, and then this spider jig heads, and that whole thing together is $10.79. Next thing is the V&M Cliff Pace Pacemaker jig. Again, good time of year for a nice big jig. I actually probably won't trim the skirt down on this one this time of year. Just let this thing flow. But what you'll notice about this jig head is the top of the jig head's got some fluting on it, which makes this one, you know, this one kind of tends to dig into the bottom a little bit more. And a nice flat side keeps the hook pointed up as it's sitting there on the ground, on the bottom. So again, good time of year, and green pumpkin is always a good color. So next up, we got the Z-Man Hula Sticks. So these are kind of little stick bait. They're kind of Senko style bait. The difference being, it's got 4 little barbels hanging off the back there. So you can fish this just about any way you fish any other Senko, but you've got a little part there that acts like a tail on a bait fish. So you know, Texas rig it, drag it along the bottom, shaky head. It's got a little extra movement, and it's Z-Man. And actually, the small ones like this would work really well on a Ned rig as well. The Z-Man, if you're not familiar with Z-Man soft plastics, they're made out of Elastec. So let me open this back up here, which has 2 interesting properties. 1, they're really stretchy. 2, they float. Although it looks like they tried to load these things up with salt pretty well. But Elastec baits float. So on a shaky head or a Ned rig, it'll pull the jig head up, and it'll sit there with the tail pointed up off the bottom. Give it a little extra action. Next in here, we should have a live target Gizzard shad. I got one of these last year too. So live target, you know, their big thing is they're really into detail. So you know, they kind of portray the whole match the hatch philosophy. So this is a lipless, or a lipped crankbait. It's a little tiny sucker. So, but real nice finish on it. Very realistic looking. It's got some scale texture on the plastic itself, and there's scale texture painted into it as well. All the little fins are molded in and painted on. And this thing is, so 3 to 5 dive depth, and it's 3/16 of an ounce. So my only real complaint about something like this is the weight. I prefer bait casting gear if at all possible, and that is a little too light to be thrown on a bait caster, which relegates it to spinning gear. And I've got spinning gear, I'm just not a huge fan of using it. So, but it'll get used. And the last thing on the card is the Mustad Ultra Point. This is their no twist drop shot hook. So I have been using the Gamakatsu version of this almost exclusively for drop shotting for a while now. But basically what you've got here, what I've got here is 2 hooks stuck together. So I get that back over the barb, there we go. But essentially what you've got here is your typical drop shot hook rigged on a full swivel. So what you do is you tie to the top swivel, and then you tie your drop weight, your leader for your drop weight, or your tag for your drop weight, onto the lower swivel. What that allows to happen is, 1, it allows the hook to freely spin around the line so it doesn't get all twisted up. And 2, top swivel allows the weight to also spin, and helps keep your weight and your hook from getting wrapped around each other. So, I've had a lot fewer problems with line tangles and getting a big mess out of the drop weight tag since I've gone over to the Gamakatsu version. And then the last thing, actually there's 3 other things in here that were not on the card. So the first one, part of Lucky Tackle Box, XL. Typically, like I said, include another hard bait of some sort. So this is the Hound brand, Crank Hound. This is their 2.0, 4 to 8 foot, 3/8 of an ounce. So nice casting weight. In Fire Tiger. Not a great color for where I typically fish. I'm typically fishing really, really clear water, but it'll get used regardless. Other things in there, the Bait Mate fish attractant sample. So add some scent to soft plastics. And the last thing is the good old Lucky Tackle Box LTB drink koozie. So keep that in the boat. So that is the bass box for this month. The Lucky Tackle Box XL. Go and put all this stuff back in the box. Alright, so now we'll move on to the Panfish box. Alright, so now we'll move on to the Panfish box. Once again, wrapped in the tissue. I actually would like them to include one of those little Lucky Tackle Box stickers, or 2 or 3 of those 1 month, instead of the big sticker. But, see if I ever get my wish. Alright, so we got our card as normal. Alright, first thing up. Like I said, and this is geared more towards panfish, so crappie, bluegill, that kind of stuff. So first thing out of the box is an original rattle trap, the tiny trap, and it is, as advertised, absolutely tiny. Let's see if I got a weight on this thing. Got 1/8 of an ounce. So, you know, panfish, okay, I'll break down and throw spinning gear. But nice little high flash color. Be good for jigging crappie, fairly deep water. Or you can actually get a bass hit, something like that too. Next up with the rocket bobber. Actually from Rattle Trap. So this is a clip-on, your standard little clip-on bobber. And what they say is the tip-up strike indicator. So according to the little instructions on the back, open this thing up. Maybe. There we go. Alright, so according to the instructions on the back of the package, if you're not fishing with any weight on this thing, it'll lay flat on the surface. And what that'll allow to happen is when the fish bites, it tips your bobber point up, and you start reeling and set the hook. So it'll be interesting. Good for fishing with my kids. So I've been trying to teach my girls how to fish. That'll be something to work with them on. All right, next up, it's the crappie monkey. So what we got here. There we go. Okay, by Gapins or Gappins, and it's scented bait in a bottle crappie monkey. So little tiny jigs and nice fluorescent pink. But what's kind of cool is each one is in its own little tube. And these are scented. So according to the package, yep, they're scented all right. So the scent's built in, and it's got the little tube there to keep the scent